break and a holiday and Christmas and all that crap and New Year's, we finally got 5 minutes back in the shed. Nice. So tonight I'm going to put a few more bits back on it. Right, let's get the lifty lift up. So a couple of things I want to do tonight. I want to get the exhausts back on it. They need to be cleaned a bit more, but I'm going to put them on. Also, I need to connect an oil pipe from the bottom of this tank. So that's got to come through and into here, so we'll take that off and connect that up. So let's crack on. So that's long enough.
That's pretty long.
Right. Through that notch. Now she goes in there. Right. Start off going that way. It's always easier to feed things through if you poke your tongue out.
Is that a scientific?
Yeah. If you're concentrating as well really hard, it's always better, more concentration if your tongue's out. This is where my veterinary training comes in handy. Go on, girl. So that's that. Right, now I'm going to put some oil in the tank and just bleed that line, so I pull that back off there, but just get the air out, just get a little bit of oil, don't really lot. The oil ain't not coming out because there's an airlock in it. So hopefully, if I pull that off there, if you watch that. So it's quite important that we get as much air out as we can. Right, so that's one job done. Next job, I'll leave that cover off for now because I've got to bleed these lines up. So next job I'm going to do is put the exhausts, or temporarily hang the exhausts on it. So KR1s original silence, original expansion chamber. Don't believe that if you buy an aftermarket exhaust it's any better, because it's not. The only thing is they're a little bit lighter, but according to the man himself, which is Stan Stevens, well known in the UK for tuning two strokes in the 90s production racing bikes, and I have it on very good authority from somebody who used to work for him, that Stan tried lots of different types of exhaust and he didn't find one that's any better than the original. So all they used to do was they used to cut the double skin so they weigh a ton. That's to keep them quiet on the road. All they used to do is take the seconds of the outer skin off of it to make them a bit lighter. So you could go out and buy yourself a set of Jolly Motos or whatever they are, and all you'll be doing is making a big hole in your wallet. So you may as well just use that money, put some fuel in your bike and have a lot of fun like that. I might actually, don't know, see if I can get another pair of them. But we only need it on there temporarily, for reasons you may find out later. So I've got a question for people out there. anybody knows what these are finished in, could you let me know in the comments? I'm sure they're electroplated with something. But I'd like to know because I'd like to get these refinished. I painted my last pair with a ceramic paint, which looks really good, but I'd still like to know what the original is like. It's almost like a black chrome, but I don't think it is a chrome. So if anybody out there knows, please let me know. And yeah, that would help me right now. Because I've got another set of pipes. I'll get them refinished and then replace these. I used to work in a factory that made things like that. That's for the oil industry. So this charged fucking loads of money for them. So yeah, obviously this is only temporary. And I will be refinishing these exhausts. I'll cut this little shitty tab off there as well. I've got no bands, so I've got to make some bands to go from there around the, I think the support of those. Trick is, don't tighten your bits up until they're all in. It's good, you can see what state that's in now, and next week when I take it off and polish it up, you'll see what results you can get with a little bit of effort. So a little update on the paintwork for the plastics. They're all prepped, they're all in primer. I delivered the rear light because there's a little bit of filling that needs to be done around that just to make sure everything looks right. So I delivered that today, along with the headlight to make sure it fits in the fairing alright, and my old petrol tank so we could check out where all the decals have got to go. So yeah, things are moving on, which is good. So I found that, yeah, because this is was a track bike, the exhausts have been lifted up and tucked in, which is nowhere near where they used to be. So put a little persuader up the exhaust and just give it a little tease out. So the main thing, down a little bit more, I think. The main thing is that they're both level when you look at it from the back of the bike. So, that looks pretty good. Gap under the footrest looks the same. So we'll go with that. I need to sort this cable out because it's a bit short. These are the little choke plungers, so we're going to put them in. So what we'll try and do is pull it out. So this is just the same as you pulling on the choke lever, which I need to sort out. Choke's on. Right, need to do a few pre-flight checks really. So there's a little vacuum pipe on there, which is not present. So here's one one I made earlier. That little pipe goes to the fuel tap, so when there's a vacuum it opens your fuel tap. So I need to blank that off, just for now. So we'll use a bit of that. That won't affect it too much, but I just don't want to drag excessive amount of air for it. So we need to put some fuel in it. Another little thing I'll show you, which I've done. I'll show you how I did it. It's quite important on this because it's a twin. It's quite important. It's effectively like two independent engines, but they're joined by one crankshaft. So they've got independent crankcases, you know, they're all separate. Two separate carburetors, two reblocks, two barrels, two separate pistons. So it's quite important that you synchronise the carburetors. And all that means is that the slides lift at exactly the same time, because if one slide lifts before the other, you're going to get one cylinder doing a lot more work than the other one, and that will hold you back. And the way I do it, I don't know if it's like, you know, industry standard and all that, but I just find it's quite a simple method. Simple things normally, you know, keep it simple. So what you can do is you've got adjusters on the top here, and what that will do is change the length of the cable where it comes out of this block. So what I do, so I'll just put a couple of little welding rods in there, like that. And what you're looking for, when you wind it slowly forward, is for both of them, as you can see, look, they're out of sync. So if you watch it, when I shut the throttle, you'll see this one shuts before that one. See it? So what that means is that this slide here is lower than that one. So what we can do is we'll just give that a couple of turns on the adjuster. So you do that with the idle adjuster wound right out, otherwise that can give you a false reading. So yeah, you want them to bottom right out. Anyway, so I'm happy now that they're both moving in sync. So you shouldn't have one cylinder fighting against the other. Right. Next thing, I know I've got a spark because I checked that the other day. I'm going to chuck some fuel in it. So what I'm going to do is use a syringe. Now the fuel I'm using is pre-mixed. So it's already got oil in it, because I need to bleed the oil pump or the injectors up because they haven't got any oil in. I've also put some 2-stroke oil down the plug holes before I put the plugs in. Just try and keep everything lubed up. We're certainly not going to be revving it, I just want to make sure it fires up. Right. So I'm just going to kick it a couple of times. Let's get it out here a bit. Right. There goes. So we just had it started. I'm well chuffed about that. It's running with no air filter at the moment, so it's going to run rough as arseholes. What I want to do is make sure my injector pump is primed up, and what I've got to do is what I'm going to do is start the bike, try and hold it at constant revs, and then just whack that wide open. Then what they should do is pump the oil through these, and you should see that these change colour when the red fluid goes through. Then I know that's all primed up, I know my pump's running, and I'll be happy. So next week's video is just going to be me thrashing this around on the road. No, it's not. No, there's still shitloads to do. Thanks for persevering with it. I hope you've got something from these videos. It takes a long time to sort these out, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. If it's a record where people can refer to, if there's little tips and tricks that you can pick up from it, that's brilliant. So leave a comment down below, whether you like it, whether you don't. If you do like it, then please subscribe, and I'll put another video up probably in 6 months time. So no, I really appreciate your comments, and I really appreciate people subscribing, so thanks for that. Yeah, hopefully before the weather gets better, this should be on the road ready for the spring.